Listen, Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Eric, Pierre, that's Mufasa. I'm sorry, bro.
It's just the song. It's not even him. I'm not gonna lie.
It was kind of both for me.
Oh, okay. I told you how I feel about this man.
I know.
I think he's fine.
I just know I have to start it off like this because
but
I did not think he was for the longest when people were like hyping him. I was like, I only saw pictures honestly, and I was just like, this guy, he looks a little scary. He actually reminds me, his eyebrows he reminds me of
really?
IT, because they both have this like.
So he looks like a lion. That's what you're trying to say? Because he does look like a
Yeah.
lion, but not in a scary way. But in a very like Disney way. Like it's like
no, in a way that is very over dramatic. Like why are they so arch? Anyways,
I
guess that's his natural brow.
When I tell you I did not pay no attention to this man's brow. Ever since I saw Jason Momoa in Game of Thrones, the brow, I was like, oh, this is the ultimate brow.
I even know Jason Momoa was in Game of Thrones.
Is it Jason Momoa? Yes, that's Jason Momoa. He plays what's his face?
I don't watch Game of Thrones.
The fact that you don't know Khal Drogo, I almost know.
No, I'm not watching that shit.
No, I'm just showing, not the show. I'm just gonna show you Khal Drogo.
All right.
And then, because I want you guys to see her reaction live. Hopefully you find him attractive because look at the.
Well, I know Jason Momoa is hot.
It's just about the brow. It's just the brows, bro. Look at the brows. You barely see his eyes.
What is that? Face paint?
No, that's his brows.
No, Jason Momoa is hot.
No, and he has like he has coal under his eyes. I think like to make him more warrior-like.
So he was the plot you were watching for?
No. He's not even in the show for a long time.
Oh, okay.
But that's you see it? Okay. So yeah.
Anyways, so the real villain, we're back. I'm Nicky.
I'm Emmy.
And it's 2025. And
yeah, that's Mufasa.
Let me tell you something.
The song is in my head.
The song is great. Shout out to the Jennifer Hudson Show team for making everybody feel special like that. Because I think that is a beautiful way. Because most of the time, as somebody who gives interviews and who has been on interviews, they can be very annoying. And most of the time, the people don't know what the hell you have done. They intro you wrong. Like they don't actually have your accomplishments or whatever. So it's like they make it a point to like actually make something personal for you, and you go in with a good energy. So I don't know.
Did you see that video where they were like, do you see the difference between the white and the black cast when they walk through, and it's like a bunch of people. And the white people are like, oh my god, it's good. Some people try to dance, not really, but they're more kind of like, it's good. And the black people are like, hey.
That's true. They be, but
so
Aaron Pierre was like, okay, that's what turned me. Because at first I just thought he was, he's regular. I mean, he's alright. But the video, I don't think I ever seen him on video. I was like, first of all,
you have to see him.
He's on each beat. I was like, so
girl.
No, see, not everybody. It's not natural for everybody.
It's true.
Two. Thinking.
Girl, you know what?
Anyways,
so that's not even what we're talking about at all. Like not even close to what we're talking about.
But shout out to y'all if you made it through 2024, bro.
We're just continuing what we've been doing. So,
yeah. At the end of 2024, something major happened that a lot of people have been waiting for. Squid Game came back. That was the end of 2024, right? It came out in December, I think so. Yes, it came out.
To be honest, She wasn't. Sorry. To be honest, I have no idea how to
talk about it.
No, I have no idea when it came out.
I'm pretty sure it came out Christmas,
most likely,
or the week of Christmas.
That would make sense.
Because they wanted the highest numbers possible. And Squid Game, it's been gone for like I think 2-3 years. I think
2 years. I think
2 years.
We're missing it.
It was when it came out. It was a phenomenon. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Like, I think of the like foreign language shows. Like the biggest hype that I could compare to is Money Heist, and it was way bigger than Money Heist. I think. Don't quote me on it. I know internationally, like Casa de Papel was huge, and with the mask and everything. But Squid Game was something that like people were just.
Shout out to Netflix for choosing good international shows to like bet money on, because
for sure. I mean, they've made some good decisions on that, and then the
on that only.
That's why you heard the wording. Oh my god. But yeah, like it was like something jarring for me. I never watched any Korean dramas before. Or I don't know if it's called a thriller or a drama. I don't know.
I encourage you to watch some of them because they are good.
I had actually, there's one that I had watched with this group of people. We were somewhere and they put on some Korean show. And
I like how you just call it this group of people. You know, no, so just so you know, we are her friends, but apparently,
yeah, like, but
apparently,
obviously, like, I'm just saying that because like I wouldn't have watched it. I wouldn't have clicked on that.
No facts
by myself. But I was like, oh, this is good. Like, there was a lot of like they like a lot of blood. Like they like a lot of killing. I was just like, why are we? Why does everybody have to die? Like this, like it's funny how like, you know, the Americans have their thing where it's like, well, they do a lot of violence too, but they also have the thing where it's like it has to end well and stuff a lot of the times.
98%
of the times. But like Koreans is just the gore, and I feel sometimes unnecessary gore. I'm just like, that wasn't even, we didn't even need to see that. I was like, that was jarring. That was like unnecessary. But you know, hey, maybe it's a way of self-expression. I don't know. But yeah,
it's a way of self.
We are doing. I'm excited to be back though. I miss talking about shows with this one here, and we're doing season 2 of Squid Game that was just released. It's been number 1 on Netflix for, I mean, since it came out. I'm just saying, like this show is. This show is. It has a life of its own. Like it's in another language, and I'm still captivated by it. You know what I mean? It's annoying because I have to actually watch it, and I can't multitask as I usually do. Which is why I told Emmy, I was like, I can't take notes during this because every time I take a note, something happens. So like, I'm gonna rely on.
Don't rely on me because this month.
No, I wasn't. No,
okay.
Trust, I wasn't relying on her. Let me tell y'all something about this woman here. She's unavailable, and it's highly annoying.
Wow.
But it's okay.
Look how the tables turn out. Look how it turns.
It's well.
Yeah.
I don't. Well.
But also,
see, I have nothing to say about that.
But also, no, for real. Outside of that, it's for the same reasons that I don't have it. Because I started, and then I realized it's true. I try to type a note, then I'm like, wait, gotta go back.
Yeah, because
and then watch, and I refuse to dub it. I watch it.
To watch it in English?
Yep, I refuse.
Do you know there's people that do that? That's insane.
You know,
I mean, shout out to you. No hate if you do.
I hate.
Oh, well.
Because y'all are the same people that be watching anime dubbed instead of subbed, and I don't. Yeah,
that's judgment. That's judgment.
It is because I feel like the acting is also part of what they wanted to give out, and I feel like dubbing doesn't necessarily translate the intention that the actor had. Even though I don't understand the language, you understand the tone, you understand the
nowadays
things, so.
I feel, but back in the day, I feel like those voice actors was working. Okay, when you put the voice actors that do from English to French, when I watch Law and Order in French, like the old Law and Order, I watch what do you call The Bold and the Beautiful?
Trust me,
Prince à New York in French. Sorry, what is it? Coming to America.
Coming to America. It's the fact that that's the translation is insane.
It is way fun. Like those French actors they were enunciating. They were giving you drama.
Oh, now they're just reading.
Now they're just reading it. I don't know what y'all are doing.
No vibes.
But there's no vibes.
Nothing.
There's no vibes. But yeah. So let's just dive into it. To season 1. I don't know if you wanted to give any overall thoughts before we started, or
we could do overall thoughts.
Sure. Season 2. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, season 2 of Squid Game. So first of all, 7 episodes. They didn't even respect the Netflix model of 8.
8. I was like, what was that?
Like, what is this? So they didn't respect the Netflix model of 8. I think season 3, which is actually part 2 of season 2, is coming out in, I believe, in June or July 2025.
Yeah, they said it's gonna be 2025. I don't trust Netflix though.
Well, they leaked July 2025 somewhere, so
we'll see.
But we'll see what happens. Overall, I think it was interesting that this man tried to revolt or try to like do like some kind of mutiny or something where they were like, we're gonna take over.
No actual plan though.
Exactly, we're gonna take over this thing, and my overall thoughts were. But you did, like, you were in this game before. First of all, why would you go back? Because no.
Okay.
And then second, you were there before.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So I'm just gonna, overall thoughts. I'm kind of looking forward to the rest because I feel like they should have just split it and, like, released the next one, like, next month or something.
But so that's what, so did we say that, like, so what they did is they filmed season 2 and 3 together.
Well, season
Which is just
2.1
one
and
season.
2.2
Yeah.
because
They're just gonna name it
one
season
thing.
3, whatever. Same thing that fucking Money Heist did, and when Netflix tends to do that with the shows that they see, like they did that with Stranger Things, which.
But here's the thing: Hollywood been doing this. Harry Potter and the Deathly
They did
Hallows.
the A and B, like I hate that shit.
And what's it called? What was it?
Twilight.
They do that a lot.
Like like you're actually diluting the product. But
True, but also outside of that, I'm glad because I got longer Harry Potter content. But the one movie was very slow compared
but that's
to
what I'm saying.
And then
It
they rushed
dilutes the
everything.
content. You could have just, anyways.
Looking forward to see their series.
But yeah, so we I was gonna say something, but I definitely forgot it. Episode 1, we pick up right where we had left off at the end of season 2. Jihan, ooh, y'all are. I have no names except for Jihan.
Oh, it's gonna be like this. At some point, it's gonna be the guy with the blah 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 and the.
That's cute.
Except for number 1, I'm just always gonna call him Player 1.
Player 1.
Because Player 1.
Or I'm gonna call him the front man. But the thing is, every other name, and believe me, no disrespect to Koreans, I really tried hard. I was trying to hear how are they pronouncing it, because the way I see it spelled,
it's not.
That's not how I want to say it.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
it's fine.
I can't say none of these names. So,
but seriously, if somebody knows how to pronounce them
please.
correctly, please let us know, because I would like to know how to. I love Korean, man. The language is beautiful. That's
yeah.
fine.
So Jihan is at he didn't board the plane. He didn't go see his daughter. Slightly frustrating to me, because I'm always of the thing of like, okay, well, you can really do it all. Like, what exactly was stopping you from going on the plane, seeing your daughter for a bit, and then coming back? Like, you have billions of dollars. Like, I didn't understand. Like, the game live, you have to stop it. I don't.
But here's the thing. I feel like it's the trauma. But me, I would have like taken all of that money, make it grow even more, like get to a point where I'm a part of that group of people where I can now hire a full-blown militia of people to actually go after you, and not like 3-4 mercenaries. That's just me.
Yes. Well, he did. He hired a big group of people. My thing is like,
no. I mean like.
I mean
the kind of thing where I could buy people in certain places that will make me able to do certain things. Again, I watch a lot of movies, guys, and I believe in very hard vengeance, especially in movies. I would do that. So they killed all these people. They deserve.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thing is like, I kind of understood what he was saying with the blood money thing. I'm that type of person where not all money is good money. I have had this conversation with people already about this show that have told me, girl, you fucking tripping. And I get it. And as much as a lot of people think, oh, like I'm hard or whatever, this is not, doesn't sit well in my spirit. And I understand what he was saying. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, damn, you stupid. Like, you're just letting this money sit there. And I'm like, but Nicky,
would you use it though?
The way you would have done the same thing.
Really?
The way I would have, like, I just, my conscience would have been like, everybody died for and what is the actual point of, like, what is the use? But then again, might as well do something fucking good with it.
Here's the thing. You see all those shows, especially anime, where the hero is like, let me go and train like a crazy person and learn everything I can to be that guy. That's what I would have done with that money. And then with the rest of the money, you hire people and then you go and break everything. You know what I mean? Like, don't go as a helpless, person. Yeah. That's what I mean.
So he doesn't go on the plane. He realizes, like, as he was talking to them, that he has an implant, a tracker. He takes it out. Again, I hate scenes in shows and TVs when they take out the tracker, because they always feel like they must show me. And you really don't.
Yes, they do.
They really don't.
Yes, they do.
Like, y'all show me, because rewatching Scandal, so, and I'm just remembering Mama Pope digging the shit out of her wrist. Why?
Because that's to show you. It's like,
why?
Because it's to show you how. Think about it, right? They're in a violent game. Like, it's not just a violent game. They're killing everybody, and on top of killing everybody, it's just to show you they want to control you to the end. So you have to show the violence of it by showing the blood, by showing the cuts. Like, it's that level of.
I guess, child.
I mean, that's how. Listen.
But so then we also see that Hwang Ho, the little cute little police officer guy, that his brother is the front man. They got shot last season. Mm-hmm. We saw that he survived. We see that in the meantime, and then we do a jump 2 years later. We see that Jihan is working with this group of people. This guy named Kim or something, and he's like the leader of this group of. I guess he owed them money, and then he paid them. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, he owed. These are the okay. So remember in the first season, he was in so much debt because of like loan sharks. So these are the people that he owed. He paid them, and with the money that he paid, he has managed to like convince them, like, yo, I won this money based on from this crazy situation that he explained to them. And now I'm trying to put a stop to these games by looking for the recruiter. The recruiter is the man that goes in the subway and slaps around people.
What a job.
What
a
well,
job.
like my thing with the recruiter, this nigga is out of his mind. Like you have to be sick and twisted.
Yeah.
Then they and I want to know. I really actually want a Squid Game prequel. I want to know how Ilnam, old guy from season 1 who created the game, like where, like how did you
come up with it?
Yeah, like and know who would be okay with.
Listen, that scene that they did, I feel like the answer to this, not necessarily why you created it or like how you created it, but the answer to why it's working, that scene that they did in season 2, I don't remember which episode it's in, but that scene where the recruiter goes into the park and he gets food or a lottery ticket.
That's episode 1.
Literally, when he goes to every single homeless person and each of them chooses the lottery ticket instead of choosing the food, or they try to take both, that literally says everything that there is to say about this game, and that explains later on the behavior of some of the players. It's literally just that.
So let's talk about that, because
me, that's how I took it, because I was just like, oh, you just explained the whole thing just there.
Yes, that's the basis that they're founding their whole premise on. Like, so I want to say this because we'll get to the contestants. I did notice that season 2 contestants were a lot younger, and that's gonna come into play later on something like a comment that I have. But like I said, those group of people, they've been searching for the recruiter for 2 years, all subway stations across wherever the hell they at, and they haven't found him. They're starting to think Jihan's a little crazy, but they're being paid handsomely to do this. So the guy's like, listen, like, I also, like, he's telling his, like, colleague or whatever, his partner, he's like, I also think he's a little off, but then I think about it and I'm like, is he? Because why the hell would somebody spend this much money looking for this person if it wasn't true? And then one day they're in the subway station, the 2 main guys of the search crew, and they see him. Just like Jihan described, playing a game with, what's the little game with the...
I don't know the name of the game.
The game with the
thing with the papers
square,
that you...
and you have to make it flip, and they slapping people around. So they follow him because they're like... Because Jihan had... I think he had upped the reward if you find him. It's like... It was maybe also, $1 billion, he said.
I kind of just Googled it real quick just for fun. There's 768 number of stations in Seoul, Korea. So that would explain the 2 years.
That's a lot.
Yeah, they have 23 lines.
And you saw it too, like it was almost like the way that they were doing it was like a game, because you saw them going in the subway station, looking like everything in episode 1 was kind of like formulated like a sort of game, like a cat and mouse type thing. And then those 2 guys, they spot him, but they follow him because they're like, we can't lose this nigga. We've been looking for him for 2 years, and this is the exact guy. We're gonna follow him. They follow him and they call Jihan right away. This is the frustrated. I start getting frustrated because I'm like, oh, like, Jihan goes right away, is in his car, but he's speeding. And I hate when people do this in films and stuff, because I'm like, if you speed, you're gonna fucking get pulled over. Especially like that. Like, it's actually gonna make you go slower because you're speeding. So just fucking go the limit, or like, just a little bit above, because those few extra seconds aren't gonna matter. But the 15 minutes that you're standing there while the nigga's typing out the ticket and stuff, that's...
Do you remember what I said about him like jumping right into it without being fully prepared? Just because he had money, he just jumped right into it. Why did you only have 2 people? Why did you only have 2 people and not the backup of the people actually meet all of them there? Why were they?
Why did he call everybody?
Exactly. Why were there only 2?
That's
yes,
true.
The speeding thing, but it's like, that's what I'm saying about being unprepared, and like, you went through all of this. If I was to go through something that traumatic, there is no way I'm not learning every single like defensive like martial arts and whatever, and learning how to like shoot a gun and like literally, I think I would go into a mode where I'm like, I need to survive, so I need to learn everything. And I feel like this man did not.
I think his anger. I mean, it's been 2 years, so I was like, damn, like you should have. But I think at least initially, maybe at least the first year, his anger, his trauma, his fear, it also breaks your trust in human nature and humankind. I would think to see something like that happen, and almost feel like maybe you are insane because it's like, did it happen?
The trauma, because you see that money in your room or whatever.
Yeah, but it's like I feel like, but then the second year, what I mean, I would start like, what are you doing? But yeah, anyways, Jihan is Jihan. He's still kind of like the same guy from season 1. He's a little kind of slow. They follow him, and they tell Jihan he's on his way. As they're following him, they follow him to a lottery or a little dépanneur, corner store, and he gets a whole bunch of bread and a whole bunch of lottery tickets. I'm talking about the recruiter when I say this. The recruiter then goes to a park. They follow him to the park. And I'm thinking at this point, I wonder
that scene.
That the scene that Emmy told about. Do you think that he knew at this point that he was being followed?
I'm sure he knew.
Okay.
I'm sure he knew because the level of, I think the level of like acting that he was putting into, it was like a theater. It was like a demonstration.
It's very extra.
You know what I mean? It was literally a demonstration. So I feel like he knew, and he just kind of was putting on a show for either for them or even for his own pleasure. Because clearly,
no, I think he definitely enjoyed
nobody
that.
chose right. Also, I'm sorry, you're in the streets. Don't get the lottery ticket. You never win out of those. Just get the bread.
So here's my thing. And what these people were. So they asked all, like Emmy said, all the homeless people, and each of them, I think maybe 1 or 2 people chose the bread.
No, nobody chose the bread.
Yes,
I don't remember.
You have to go watch it.
I don't remember anybody choosing the bread.
I promise you.
Maybe 1 or 2, but then
2 people chose the bread. And I think because it was so much that he went through, I think what they were saying is like, if you have 100 people, 98%, like that's how they're probably doing the statistics on how people will vote in the game, who's gonna stay, whatever. They're like, the numbers will always be in our favor. If you asked 100 homeless people, because that's the amount that he got, and they all take the ticket, except for 2 people, you can have games where people try to kill each other for money, for sure. They're gonna do it. So once he had all the bread remaining, everybody lost, obviously, in the lottery. Like, nobody won. But my thing with that, psychologically, for these people,
so stupid.
It's like, psychologically, it's like, listen, the bread, people will come by this park all the time, give me scraps.
Maybe they don't. I don't know. I don't know if it's I don't know.
It looks like a huge
I don't know about Korean society. I don't know if they get. Look at Canada, how we treat homeless people. Unless it's actually a soup kitchen, people barely look at them.
Do they have?
Look at Berry Camp. There's like homeless everywhere. Nobody gives them anything. No,
I give them stuff all the time.
I feel like you're one of the only people that I've seen do that, and I'll be at Berry every day. So, yeah, I don't know.
It looks like I just googled if they have shelters, and they do have some. What I'm saying is like,
but I'm just saying it's just one of those things.
It's like they're probably thinking like the food, it's only gonna sustain me for a minute, because it's a loaf of bread. But if I get this lottery, I could get off the street. I may be able to get an apartment. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's a gamble that is like, technically it's kind of safe, because it's like, I mean, if you lose, you're just in the same position you started with. You know what I mean?
You're just still hungry.
Mm-hmm. And if you get the bread, okay, you have 1 loaf of bread and you're full for what, an hour?
Maybe 2. But maybe. At least, or you can split it and eat a little bit. You know what I mean?
I mean, I understand.
And then you lost the lottery ticket, and this man is literally ran away with.
So here's my thing. When this nigga started, so he went and did a whole performance in the party, like, oh my god, y'all chose this and blah blah, and the guy comes to get the bread, and he's like, he stomps on it, and then he stomps on all the other bread. It's like, no, I didn't destroy this bread, you destroyed this bread. And I was like, bro, you're doing a lot, you're very dramatic. And then that's when I realized, as he was jumping on it, oh, he likes this, like he's enjoying this. There was glee,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy's weird.
You don't see how they speak about the people? Like, literally, like, they're
Dogs,
literally the scum of the earth.
scum of the earth.
Pretty much.
Like,
so,
just...
You know, I'm like, well, you know, that goes with the character. I just
But
really
the
loved
way
that
he
scene.
said it...
That scene was, that scene was beautiful.
The
shout
park
out
scene?
shout out to Korean cinematographers.
Very beautiful scene.
That was a great scene.
And engaging. You couldn't tear away your eyes.
It's literally the whole game. The whole premise of the game within one scene, and that was beautiful. I love when people do that, a little something like to reference like the whole thing. It was beautiful.
If you take the people in society that are
great.
the downest on their luck, because that's what they do for the games. They take people that are in unbelievable debt. Like, you remember the guy from season 1, the one that Jihan still checks on his mom. You remember how he was in season 1? He was about to kill himself. Like, he was just like, bro, what is the point? This debt is not. If you push the right button in people and you give them a choice between what seems to be an easy way out, which would have been taking the saying no to the game and, you know, going back to their life, or a high risk, high reward, most people will go with the high risk, high reward.
And you want to know what's some funny? I'm looking at this at the same time as this came out. There's this reality game show. I don't know if you guys know. You know Mr. Beast, right? The YouTuber. There's this reality game show called Beast Games. It is the highest money price to be ever won on a game show ever in television. I think it's like in the millions, and pretty much, you know, people have to compete to like win this huge prize money. But here's the thing: it's like people are not about to die for this, but the things that they will have to do is a little bit insane. And I'm just like, it's so funny how Squid Games just came out, and we keep making more and more of those reality show games where people have to do insane things like Survivor.
One day y'all gonna do the real one. Y'all really gonna be out here killing people on TV.
And like, to win money and to prove to yourself that you can do crazy things, to win that money and be like, oh, I'm gonna take myself out of whatever the situation is. While the rich people, they never have to deal with this because they just be entertained. So
now, who's sicker?
It's just interesting.
Who's sicker, right? Because let's say in the beginning, the people that go into the game, nobody knows you're about to die. They know it's maybe a little sketchy, for sure.
But how do they know they're not about? Okay, I think these people are a bit stupid. I'm sorry. No, because how are you being taken to a place where they tell you can win money and you think you ain't going? Like, what do you mean?
Desperation.
Okay, so
because
my thing is, if you Nicky.
No, me, I'm not going.
That's what I'm trying to say. If
I'm taking that little $100 he gave me for the spinning game, I'm like, thank you so much, sir. Don't ever contact me again.
I'm sorry. I know that no amount of money will come for free. There's no way. These people are, I'm sorry. For me, these people are stupid or they don't want to believe, but like, please.
Their targets are very specific. There's a lot of research made.
No,
Jihan,
for sure.
Like, think about how we saw Jihan in season 1. The guy was dumb.
No, I get it. But I'm just saying. I was watching this and I was just like, aww. I was like, oh, y'all think many of y'all gonna come out alive. I was like, aww.
But let's just say, for the purposes of this, that when they go in, they don't know they're gonna die, right? Until after game 1, obviously. So let's say, who's worse, right? The people who vote to keep fucking going and dying and whatever, or, you know, hoping to play for more money, or the fucking people that come in or during the whole game and that are watching the elites of society, and then they come in person near the finale.
Okay.
To fucking get their rocks off. Who's worse?
I think you forgot a group of people.
Who?
The workers.
No, see, the workers.
The little red soldiers. The little. Ooh, you did that shot.
The workers, I have so many thoughts. Like,
oh my god.
We're not there. The workers. Well, okay, we'll get to that. But yes. So, anyways, after he does that with the bread, they keep following him, and they go to this alley, and that's when, you know, Recruiter shows that he knows he's getting followed. He takes them out easily, knocks them out. Jihan wasn't there yet. He's still driving. He does have a location though, and he arrives late, and we see that when he arrives and he looks around, the Recruiter was looking from above, so, you know, he saw Jihan arrive and miss him. The Recruiter takes the two that were following him, ties them up, literally, like with a dog bone in their mouth, and I thought the symbolism was pretty heavy there.
True. It was also given BDSM, but don't mind me. It was.
Well,
it was.
And he, sick, twisted nigga that he is, decides to have them play rock, paper, scissors, Russian roulette. Never heard of it.
I thought that was so interesting.
I thought that was so creepy. Like, if you wanted to let me know, if we know, obviously, if you hopefully, if you're watching this review, you've seen the show or you don't care about spoilers. If we know that the recruiter is going to die at the end of episode 1, how can we establish this character and make you know this nigga as quickly as possible? And you have him play Russian fucking roulette, rock, paper, scissors.
Yep. I thought it was very cool.
Yeah.
It was a very cool, because it's like, what other game could they be playing right now where they could die? And he was just like, ooh,
let's spice this up a little bit.
Let's do it. And then y'all actually like each other, because the guy was like, yeah, they had a little moment where they were like, you know, I officiated your wedding.
They were gonna
like,
split the money that Gian gave them in half. I was like, they make you feel for these people, and then
so we just played with them, and
we knew one of them was gonna die.
And then the guy that died was actually the one that was hired.
The boss died.
So that was
and he had and the recruiter had a whole lot of fun with that. And then we skip over to Jun Ho, the detective. He's also doing his own little investigations here, because he's been telling this to his work and police, and they were just they're just like, bro, like, you've been saying this for 2 years, like, we're tired, like, stop, like, you're doing a lot, like,
we can't protect you no more.
We can't protect you. He's been demoted, I think, so he's like doing like street stuff. He's actually the one that pulled Jihan over when he was speeding, but he didn't actually
talk to him.
He sent his partner.
Sent a newbie.
So he knows Jihan. Like, if he had seen him, he would have known.
I think he would have known, yeah, but he didn't.
So, but in the meantime, he's still, he's investigating, and he sees the license plate. Like, he searches into the license plate. He sees who it is. Figures out where I think Jihan works or lives at the motel little thingy.
When I tell you, those first 2 episodes, it took me forever to get in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I was in episode 1.
Nope.
Episode 1, I was in it.
Absolutely not.
The second episode is where I didn't understand.
Because I was just like, I want to see the game. Please show me the game.
Oh, really? I actually preferred when we were outside the game for a bit, because I was just like, I've already seen it.
I feel you, but I feel like that's why I was like, I understood why this man wrote it as a single as just a show and not like a series. Mm-hmm. Is because it was self-sufficient. Season 1 was enough. Because the whole thing about it was the game. Like, we didn't know that much about exterior life. We didn't know that much about. We did, but not that it wasn't.
There wasn't that many characters. Episodes. It was just Jihan.
It wasn't 2 full
We knew a little
outside.
bit about the.
Because out of 7 episodes, it's 2 episodes outside.
Yeah.
Which is
too much.
Maybe not too much, but just.
But also, again, they split the season. So, but anyway, so let's just say.
Not the.
They go, okay, so Jun Ho gets to. Not Jun Ho, sorry. Jihan finds the place where the recruiter is. Him and the recruiter have a sort of stand up. No, the recruiter found Jihan. He was already waiting for Jihan when he got back.
And he played a game.
And they played a game again of sort of Russian roulette, but like
let's up the odds.
Like let's not actually reset it. Yes, let's not reset it each time. So basically, you start off with a 1 in 6 chance,
and then 6 in 1,
and end up with a 6 in 1, child. So it was very tense when they're going at each other. Basically, the recruiter, what creeped me out is throughout the whole thing, he didn't have not 1 ounce of remorse. He did not have 1 ounce of fear. He told us earlier, because I thought at least when he saw that the odds were not turning in his favor, but he didn't even have a fear of dying.
No, because that's the game. And also outside of that, I think there's a certain level of like not being sane or not being in the same plane of moral compass as other people that you have to be in that position of recruiting people to go and die in a game. So I think it made sense. Yeah, with the character, it was consistent.
Yeah, so I mean, Jihan, I love how he handled it and how he turned the game around, and when he won and he flipped the words back to the recruiter, it was one of the most satisfying things. Even though he didn't seem to be the character that he was about to die, for me, I was satisfied. I was satisfied for Jihan being able to see him blow his head off. I was like, there, because you was talking mad shit.
No, I wasn't satisfied.
You was acting like he was gonna win. Like, bro.
I was like, wow, satisfied. You killed like one of the leads. Beautiful. I mean, he's dead, but like, ugh.
Okay. Well, I liked it. And
no, I know. I'm just saying. I'm like, you know.
And then, so in the meantime, so Jihan, not Jihan, Jun-ho, finds
the other guy
that was tied up.
Yeah.
Where the recruiter had him tied up.
Well, the one that was still alive.
The one that's still alive. He also comes back with him, and where they find Jihan, and Jihan explains that, you know, he didn't kill the recruiter whose body is right there, basically, and somehow, oh yeah, the other guy came in and helped him, so they overpower Jun-ho, and he has him.
Yeah, because Jun-ho was like, you're under arrest for the murder or whatever, and I was like, sir, y'all both were in the same game, let's just drop it. Just drop the gun, you know what's going on.
I was like,
here.
Jun-ho, like,
please.
you know
I'm
this
like,
nigga's not a killer.
You know
he's a killer, don't push him, you know what I mean?
I'm like, you know what's going on, like, please.
So that actually is in the second episode. So I'm now at this point, I'm gonna read things. Jihan, Jun-ho, and Woo discover a lead from the recruiter's jacket. Oh yeah. So in the jacket they found a little card pointing to this Halloween party that was happening.
And you know how the cards be, you know, the invites. They give you a little. First of all, shout out to the little cards because they're very. It's giving, you know, private and like, you know, elite club.
So Woo-sak is the guy that is so sorry for mispronouncing names. You know?
Girl, you know you could just call them like.
I can't just call him because there's gonna be so many guys.
Okay, you could say the guy that was hired or something.
So you want me to say the guy that was hired each time?
Main character, police guy. Literally, main character, police guy, number one. Unless you want to say the names,
So I mean, okay, let's just call him.
Again, I'm not saying this because I have any
I'm gonna call him
Korean names.
Lone Shark Survivor. I'm gonna call him Lone Shark Survivor. He's part of the trio now, and he's the one that hired the group of mercenaries to basically prepare to, because they're like, yo, they killed my boss. He was my friend also. They did all these horrible things to Jihan. Like, fuck these people. Like, I saw like what they're about. I'm not even in it for the money right now, because Jihan was like, I'll pay each of you whatever amount if you help me. Because I don't give a fuck. And Jun-ho, clearly, we know he doesn't care. He's really trying to save his brother and see what's happening there.
100%.
But he hasn't told them that.
But the money on the bed, though, was insane.
Oh! Listen, I
looked at that money and I said, so you have all of this in a room? That's insane.
I'm saying, that's insane.
That's insane, because if somebody decides to rob the place, then you don't have no money. You see when I say he's not prepared?
At all.
That's what I mean.
But also, okay.
That's what I mean.
But also, I do want to mention, Jun-ho pissed me off because he's a little cutie, so I can't really be mad at him so much. I was like, oh yeah, I want to pinch his cheeks. But he pissed me off because I think he's like a little cutie. He looks like a little, like he looks like a kid. But yes, he pissed me off when Jihan asked him like, yo, did you know, when the guy shot you, did you happen to see his face? I wanted him to say that he knew who it was, because a lot of this could have been avoided. You know what I mean? But obviously he doesn't want to implicate his brother, but I'm like, but your brother ain't shit. So
Leave me alone. Listen,
your brother ain't shit. Like, your brother's out here killing people gleefully. Like, that's not your brother. Like, sometimes I get it, family and shit, but sometimes, guys.
Yeah, he didn't get to see the glee, so maybe. He didn't see the glee.
You saw what the fuck the game was about. You was there. You was pretending to be a freaking. You had to serve these money hungry, sick ass people. Like, you know what this shit is.
True, but you know, when it's close to you, you don't want to. You can't. You know, there's.
I wish you would have said it, man. But I get it.
There's that little moment where you're like, your brain is like, I can't.
So as they're preparing to go into the Halloween party, because they're like, okay, they're gonna get that plan to they want to get to the front man. That's the black mask wearing guy. They put a tracker in Jihan, which I thought was brilliant. Because I'm like,
when they removed the tooth.
Yeah, because I'm like, you don't put a tracker in the neck or behind the ear where people always do it. Simple. No, remove a molar and put. I was like, that's great. They're not gonna know that. I was wrong. But anyways, they put a tracker in him. In the meantime, we see that Jihan is still looking over Sang-woo's, that was his name, the mother. That death really hurt me last season. Even though I hated him, I didn't want him to die.
No, I mean, there's a lot of people I didn't want to die, but that's the goal of the show.
Yeah.
Somebody has to survive. One out of 500 almost has to survive. So
yeah,
one of those things.
We also see him make a call to his daughter, and he does. Do you know how many? Gets my nerves, bro. He made a call to his daughter where he said nothing, and she kind of knew. She said, "Dad, like, is that you?" Like, he was, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so dramatic." Like, just say hi.
I feel like no.
Why?
Because he was. I feel like one, he should not have called, but I guess he wanted to hear her voice. But also, don't say hi because then you're about to initiate something within that child that you're not gonna be able to sustain because you're about to do something stupid.
Why can't you sustain it? Because you're an idiot.
Because you're gonna go do something stupid.
But nobody told you to do that.
Instead of going on that plane, he chose to go and do what he's about to do, and he's calling her because he thinks he can, but he can't. And speaking to her would only make things worse.
I think he probably thought he doesn't know what's about to happen. He might die.
He's gonna. That's what I'm saying. Like he's about to go do
really
something
said, "I love
stupid."
you.
But like, here's the thing.
And what if he did die?
It's literally 2 episodes. Like for me, 2 episodes setting up to like him going after the game master, and to go after the game master, everything needs to be left behind. So I felt like that was their way of saying the only thing, the only thing that he cares about in this world that's left, because clearly everything else has been taken away. Like his soul probably is gone. Like it's literally just like this little situation with his daughter that they made, and yeah, it's just so. You know, they didn't have to do that, but I guess
I hear you. But I mean, also I want to say the only reason I call these the guy, the recruiter, and the front man is because that's what they call them on the IMDb. That's what they're credited as.
Oh God, I don't know. I wrote in my notes the game master. That's just my own
your
thing. That's not what
I
I
would have called him
them
creepy subway guy and insane evil black mask guy. That's what I would have called them.
That's a long thing. Game master sounds like. You know,
mine is better. It's fine.
I didn't say that. I just said it's long.
That's what you said.
I just said it's long.
That's what you said. So then, okay, so they go into the party. They're searching, and they do see the pink people with the mask, soldiers. The
little PlayStation button guys. Every time I see them, that's what
I
think about.
They really do look like that, which always actually in the first season made it feel like more like high tech to me.
I love this. I was like, ooh, games, you know.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah. Your PlayStation. Yeah, they did. That's what I'm saying. This show was
yes.
They thought about it.
Yes. Okay. So in there, they're trying to. I guess they were wanting to follow the soldiers to lead them to the front man.
Again, unprepared.
This was
like,
so
the
stupid.
level of not being like, think about it.
Like
there's an international organization of billionaires that are getting poor people and in debt people to like fight for their life for a lot of money, and 3 men decide to be like, oh, we're gonna go take on the whole organization. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense.
Like, even though y'all have a little bit of team of mercenaries,
well, the team was 2 cars.
The plan was bad. The backup plan was stupid.
Yeah. They didn't check their cars.
Like, y'all thought that, like, so here's my thing. Here's my thing with Jihan's dumb ass. They chase the John Ho comes out. He only sees what limousine they're in, so he tells the other guys, okay, follow these niggas, blah, blah, blah. Jihan is in the car with the front man. Not with the front man, with a thing speaking with the front man.
Was it a little pig? It was a little pig. It was a little pig thing.
Yeah. And he's talking to him, and the front man's like, okay, you looking for me? What you want? What you want, bro? He's like, well, nigga.
He's like, I want you to stop the game.
I don't like you. I want you to stop the game. He's like, no.
He's like, okay.
Like, what am I going to do? I'm not listening to you type of thing. And he's just trying to stall it because, like, okay, maybe we're going to go somewhere useful. They're following. And Jihan has a little thing in his ear. They're speaking to him. And he hears when the first car blows out, obviously, because they know they're being followed. They were taken out by snipers. The wheels. Like, it's okay. We saw the second car.
That's stupid.
That was like the second car's going to get blown up too. Like, did they think that they had planted a bomb on the first car and maybe not the second car? No. There's snipers in the air, dummy. And here's where Jihan pissed me off. So you hear in your ears that they done got the 2 vehicles following you, right? So you think that they don't know about the fucking tracker on you.
It's not even that. For me, the part that was the most stupid in this whole scene was when he pulled out the gun on the piggy bank, and I said, "Come on." I said, "Wait."
Whatever.
I said, "Wait." I was like, "Sir, so you think when you shoot it, like, what is he going to... No, because the guy watching from his computer screen, right? What do you think he's afraid of when he sees a gun from afar?" Like, I looked at it, and then he said, "So you think you go stop the game with a gun?" And
a pistol.
Died.
Jihan was...
I actually died. Because I was just like, okay, y'all are not serious.
That was funny.
It was
he was very unserious. And then he's like, put me back in. Because he couldn't think of nothing else. I would have been like, let me the fuck out so I could go restructure. No, put me back in. But whatever. It's up to you. We need a season 2, right?
Because he was like, I have the tracker in my... That's his whole mind was like, well, I have the tracker. Let me go back.
Right. They're not going to find that. You know, there's not a point where they knock me out, search me, change my clothes. Anyways.
Listen, this whole thing, right? So, as I told you, it took me forever to actually get into the first 2 episodes because I was just like, literally, here's my notes for the first 2 episodes. Setting up the scene for part 2, we are going after the Game Master. That was literally all that you needed to know about those 2 episodes is that this man, one, is not over what happened to him, which makes sense because he can't even go to a therapist and talk about it because who's going to believe him?
They're going to lock him up.
Exactly. So there's that. 2, okay, they're looking for the Game Master and they're looking to put an end to this game. And 3, it is very stupid to assume that you can take on an organization that big without even assuming or thinking about the fact that they may be surveilling you and that you may need to take extra precautions. You see, and I guess maybe that's the difference with Americans. Had this been an American thing, this man would have been like, we need to check on we need to change cars, we need to do this, we need to do that, which I get is not, again, this is not, I guess, what they wanted to do. But I'm just saying there's a lot of things in this first part where I was just like, I wanted you, if you're in your heart, you have that much hate towards them, which I get, that you want to take them down, I wish you had gone about it in a better way because now you're a billionaire.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
But they made it more, I guess, realistic as to how a man like Jihan would actually go about this, instead of in a lot of Americanized shows where the niggas be suddenly Albert Einstein, superheroes. Suddenly they're like, you're Superman? I didn't know you could do that.
Suddenly he's taken and he can find his daughter across the world. Like, okay?
I've seen niggas like that have no training or experience take out 50 niggas. I'm like,
but that's the thing. I'm not saying necessarily that he needed to go and do some shit, which he should have done at least a little bit of boxing or something, you know. But outside of that,
you would have liked for it to
I
at
would
least
have
make
liked
sense.
for him, with the amount of money that he had, I would have liked for him to hire maybe more people or more qualified or more skilled people, because these were not. He had some things, but it was not high enough, which I get. But if we're gonna go into, and I guess that's where we'll see for part 2 of this. But I feel like if you want to go so much for outside the game and this game being a conspiracy and there's this many layers, I need you to get deeper into that part. That's me personally. And that's why I felt like it was lacking. Because I was like, okay, maybe once we get in the game, we'll get more of that. And I didn't. So I think that's what was lacking for me in that part specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, we go on, and this is now episode 3 where, oh, sorry, just one last thing, because I didn't really get this part, so maybe somebody can explain it to me.
Yeah.
So there's this girl, a North Korean defector.
Yep.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so North Korea, the kind of regime that they're under, right?
Yes.
Okay, so defectors mean somebody from North Korea that is trying to escape to South Korea. Yep.
Okay.
You can't do that. They will shoot you.
So they will shoot you.
Yeah.
She seeks to extract her daughter from the North.
Exactly.
Enters the game as I just see that part I completely.
Yeah. So she left. She escaped, but her daughter is still, she needs to look for her daughter, and that's the. Part.
But why is she in the game? That's what I didn't get.
She's a. Come on, the guy that's running the game. Well, one of the, not the main runner, not the game master, but the little supervisor thingy. He's basically like, I'll help you find your daughter. Because finding somebody in North Korea, I'm guessing, has to be one of the hardest things to do, maybe, when you're in the South. So you need people that don't do things that are very, I guess.
Okay. And then
minimum amount of knowledge that I have on that part, because
that's fine. And we really don't really get into it much. So, one other thing that we forgot to mention in the first 2 episodes, John Ho had been searching the seas for 2 years with this boat guy
The
that
way you said that, I'm like, is this Pirate of the Caribbean?
he's
He's searching the seas.
He's
Literally.
he has been though. From the guy that saved him allegedly, and now that
because he had jumped. Remember when he had jumped from like that super high heel? Well, is it?
no, he fell because he got shot.
He fell. Or I don't remember. Yeah, but he was like, I guess I'll find the island somewhere where I fell.
But here's the thing, so I can jump ahead a little. Whatever, you guys saw this. Clearly, we know that the boat guy, even though we thought he was just an innocent little drunk fisherman who found Jun-Ho, he's actually has definitely something to do with the games. They probably have him there surveilling the water, the body of water around it. It explains to me, like, one, the front man obviously does have a little care for his brother, because in season 1 he definitely shot him not to kill. He shot him in the arm. It was a shoulder. 2, if the fisherman does work for the games, I'm guessing the front man told him where to find his brother, in what area to find them.
Or maybe he just found him, and the game master was like, well, just it's fine.
Yeah, because I'm thinking if you fell around the area where the freaking games are, it wouldn't take you 2 years. Like,
yes,
you're in that area though.
No, but see, what do you call it? Currents? Is this how you say it in English? Sea currents, and if somebody that is helping you look for it is actually like driving you to boating you to places that don't be making sense. 2 years.
I would have just said, let's just start. No, I know, because he's boating him away from it because he works for the games. I'm saying for Jun-Ho, he should have been like, why are we going, like...
How does he know? He was shot and fell into water, and this man was in a coma afterwards.
True, he doesn't know where he was
There's no
picked
way he
up.
can know where he was picked up. He didn't even know where the island was. He just... I feel like between the sea current, the fact that he was shot and probably lost consciousness upon entering the water, and then he was then brought to the hospital where they probably pumped him full of drugs for his body to recover, I don't think he would know where to go.
You're right. So Jihan wakes up back in the green jumpsuit, fly ass jumpsuit, and he's number 456 once again. There you go.
That's the part I was waiting for. I was like, wow, finally we're in the game.
And he's like, finally I can watch.
Oh my god.
Now I was wondering, I was like, okay, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna be watching the same games? Are they gonna switch things up a little bit? And they did once we got here. So
I mean, switching things up makes sense.
Yes, but I wonder, like, in purpose of the show, obviously we know, like, producers and stuff, we know why they would switch it because we already saw it. In the purpose of the show, I wonder if it's because how quickly did they adjust upon knowing that Jihan was going to re-enter and might thwart.
I have it's a theory.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you've watched the Maze Runner. Okay, well, quickly. No, it's a sci-fi thing. But just quickly, in the Maze Runner, for the people that haven't watched it, it's spoilers. In the Maze Runner, we follow this guy that is put into a maze where a bunch of teenage boys have created a life for themselves. They're alone. There's no adults, and they are inside a maze. And within the maze, there's creatures and robots that are killing them, and they don't know why they're here. Their memories have been wiped, and things like this. And then as things progresses and how they as they manage to like get themselves out of the situation, you realize that there's a big organization, kind of like in Squid Games, that is actually running an experiment on these boys, and everything is monitored on their computers.
Mm-hmm.
But movie 2 or 3, you realize that it's not just one maze, but it's a bunch of mazes in which they're monitoring a bunch of people doing this. So I was thinking as I was watching the game, are they running multiple of those scenarios in a year? Are they running multiple of these in life? And they just happen to switch it up because, they don't want also the public, which is the rich people, to get bored. Maybe they're like, oh, last time they did this, what are they doing this year? Maybe they keep the classic, running situation, and then after that they switch it up. Again, that's a theory. I don't know if it's, but that's what I thought about.
I really think that they switched up. I think they had some in reserve games that Ilnam probably was like, ooh, I want to add these ones. And they probably had ones that they add in for unprecedented situations. Maybe ties, maybe.
I think it would be too hard to set up in such a short amount of time.
You
I think,
think?
in my opinion, the complexity of some of those are not complex, But like for example, like the first season, the thing where they walk on like those tiles and then they fall.
No, that one I think those are the main ones.
I don't know if it's the main one. I think, but here's the thing: we saw it first. Is it the mains? Maybe it's just one of those games. Because like if you look at
the second game that they played on this season, it's still in the same place where the second game of the first season was played. All you have to do is get a couple pom poms. Get a little baby, like they were. I'm like, that was a simple setup.
No, I feel you.
The third game was also just a huge room.
It was.
Like,
but what I'm thinking is, I feel like they just, well, in my theory, they have a bunch of different ones, and it's not maybe main one. I feel like the main one is the first one that stayed the same, and I feel like they just kind of switch up
for the years.
Because like maybe.
You're right, because they also.
I don't know.
It's actually no, you're right. You know why? Because
I think they would be sick enough to be like, oh, let's do something else this year.
Because I mean, taking account that I don't know how many years they've been doing it. Maybe let's say 30 years, 20. Let's say 20 plus years.
He's getting Hunger Games.
Let's say there's only 20 surviving people that could talk about this. Because it's only one. Your numbers start getting a little bigger. You never know. If you're searching in the same kind of areas of the country. Somebody could have talked to somebody, and it's kind of like when you take an exam. If you guys remember in university, some professors used to have alternative exams for the other class. So for like, let's say the class B would have a similar exam but not the same one, so you couldn't really talk to somebody who had taken the exam before. So that could be like kind of like what Emmy's saying, but a new clause was added in this one where they're basically like, after each game now the players will vote on who will stay.
I read this and I said, you know what? I was like, now they're about to play little mind games with them. Now they're about to play.
That shit was annoying because here's what they did. Obviously, this episode 3 is called Player One, and Player One has joined, and and the way that they do, of course, they do. Oh, we're gonna do the vote in reverse, so that the deciding vote always comes down to Player One, and if it's getting close. Now, obviously, they're putting themselves at risk if there's a majority on one way or the other. But Player One is the front man, very confident that most people will choose to stay in each scenario. So that's kind of where we start off. He has inserted himself in the game. I wonder. No, I know that he decided to join the game after Jihan did. I don't think he would have been in the game.
You know what? I think he would have. You know why? Because I feel like, you know how they say like, in police shows sometimes where they talk about like a serial killer, and sometimes the serial killers come back to the scene and they watch as the journalists film the scene, and they're like, oh my god, because they like to see their beautiful masterpiece. I feel like maybe it's one of those things where it's like, ooh, let me just let me be a part of the thing. Similar to Ilnam.
He just wanted to go in the because we know that
that's the thing.
Regardless,
I feel like
Player One was gonna be soft. Was not soft. Player One was gonna be safe. Regardless, I'm sure they had.
Oh, listen, Player One was never.
Same thing as Elmo.
They were gonna lose, and I feel like worst case scenario, they were gonna shoot him with a fake bullet, or shoot him in the leg where it's not too bad, and then he's alive.
Because later on I had my theory about that. But so in the meantime, as they're learning about the new clause and everything in the gameplay, John Ho and the team, they lose track of the island and Jihan because the tracker was removed. They were led on a fake hunt.
I like how they believe when they put that little tracker in his mouth. I was like, aww. I was like, y'all like you, not like every other movie with a tracker and they remove it and crush it. But okay, all right.
I thought it was a good idea. Well, so they were led to some place that exploded, and if you even look, the boat guy didn't even flinch when they saw that explosion. I was like, they're good at their Easter eggs, boy. I wasn't even looking at this guy like that. So Jihan, while he's in the game, he recognizes one of the players. First of all, these new players, hilarious as hell.
That annoyed me so much.
There's this one girl that she died episode 1. I was gonna like her. I texted Emmy. I was like, this mother.
You know who I was thinking? The whole time I'm watching the game, I was like, I wonder who she was talking about. When she was like, they get me to like them, because I'm like, I don't like none of them right now. I don't like none of them. I'm like, how do you not see that?
She said the capital.
I'm like, how do you not see that Player One is literally a part of the game? I'm like, you played this before.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Well, if you said they get you like them, I liked the pregnant lady. And I liked.
No, she annoyed me.
I liked the. Is it appropriate to say the trans girl?
The what?
The trans girl. Is that appropriate to say?
Yeah, she's a trans woman.
No, but I don't know if that's like the trans woman. Is that the correct wording?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really liked her.
I liked her too.
See,
that's one character that I liked because some of them I just why. What, the pregnant girl, that's not her fault. She's pregnant, and she did everything she could. Like she literally was.
I also like Jung Bae, even though he was funny to me.
Which one is
the friend that Jihan sees again? He made me laugh because he was so like. He reminded me of like if a very normal person would enter this game. I hated
his flip floppy vibes.
Well,
I hated his flip floppy vibes. I hated his flip floppy vibes.
Okay.
I hated his flip floppy vibes. No, because the little. No, but like if we play one more thing and then each of us are gonna have this. How dumb are you that you've seen this many people die already and you really believe that they're gonna let all of y'all just walk out with money? Y'all are that just don't make sense.
I also really like the old lady. Her son, fuck that nigga.
No, her son is and it's the fact that she's really trying to believe.
Like she came there for him. Like, could you imagine a parent? Well, she doesn't know she was about to die, but she knows this is again, like I said, sketchy as hell. Like, why the hell? Like,
do you know how hard I would have beaten this child? Like, within the game? Because if we're about, I'm killing you. If we're about to die, I'm killing you. Because what do you mean?
He pissed me off. But anyways,
that poor lady.
Jihan recognizes Player 388. That's his friend. He tells him basically, "What the hell you doing here? Stay close." My thing, if I was Jihan, the whole time that we're doing this announcement, they're talking about they're shaming people for having debt and all this. You know, we meet.
You're gonna be like, I'm balling, so
we made.
Okay.
we made this annoying ass rapper nigga that keeps saying words in English. That's the one I texted.
Oh, I was just like, can you just shut up,
my bro? I was like, if he says bro
one more time. Oh my god.
I wanted to. I was like, I couldn't wait. Anyways,
can I add one more thing just before? Okay, you remember how this man is a billionaire and he re-entered the game?
Yeah, I remember.
Why did he not set up something where if he dies, his daughter gets money? That's the one thing I would have set up. Is like put some money aside because you know you're about to go do something stupid.
Do you know anything about that girl?
That's what I'm trying to say. You see? No, but think about it. I'm about to go die.
Already kind of rich.
So
no, I get it. I'm just saying he's not thinking about her.
The way I would have been like, oh, hi, can you? There you go. I would have the money would have been deposited in her account like just a little.
Fact.
But you know that's all I wanted to say because he's balling, but he about to die maybe.
So I'm thinking of Jihan as they're doing all this. Why has he not fucking told them anything yet? And I wanted to see if, based on what he said, would they make adjustments to the game? Because I want to see if they're just gonna let it play out like it's like basically like kind of they're blind to whatever happens with the players, or if he had told them, yo, the first game, don't fucking move before they get there.
They have planned it though.
I was wondering. So, but anyway, so he didn't say shit at the time. He didn't tell them, niggas, this is not a no game. You're about to die. I was like, why not? Why the fuck are you here if it's not to save lives?
So how is he gonna save them? Because clearly,
I would have said, bro, like if.
So what would you? No, what would have been? No, not you. But what would have been the ideal situation according to you from him entering this game? I'm really.
The first thing I would have said as soon as I woke up, guys, we're
done this. Been there.
I've been here. I've done this. Oh I won. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy right now. It's cool. A few of you are not gonna believe me. Some of you are gonna move in that game. You're dead. I swear to you. I'm telling them from jump.
The way he screamed too much to save people, I'd have been like, you should have.
If you don't believe it, that's fine. Until they start shooting. There you go. You deserve to die anyways. So, anyway. But at this point. So yeah, so then they start the first game, red light, green light. This is where he like, as they advance, he warns them. He seems screaming, stop. And he's hiding his mouth because the lips could be motion detected.
And they all moved anyways. They all ran, panic running. Every single one of them is being shot. This is the first time we're actually seeing that it's not an automatic rifle. We're actually seeing humans actually with the number of the players that they need to be killing. And I thought this was very interesting because it's added a different dimension to the game. Well, at least for that specific part.
That game, because the soldiers were killing people.
And he also went back to save a guy. And I said, you are too nice.
Jihan, and they killed him anyway because, like,
because he was gonna die. Like, what was he gonna do with bleeding? Anyways,
you're gonna send a doctor to help you. You're dead.
It's one of those.
That was Jihan needs to. He don't be thinking so nice. But anyways, excuse me. They're in there and they're moving, and as they're moving, you see, like Emmy said, people thinking they could get away, and that's where I'm always like, where are you going?
No, because they were like running towards the door. I'm like, so you think the door not gonna be closed? No, because
what are you doing? The thing said don't move. I was so pissed. Like, so many people always die from that first game because it's like that's where they get the most of their people out. Because it's like
get a lot because of him this time.
I think it was still like over 100 players.
Yeah, but it was still. No, remember the first one?
Yeah,
it was just.
It was like half of the people.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. But anyways, so attempt to save an eliminated player. Only to we said that shot. It was that.
Oh, what the name of the rapper? Can you say his name?
Thanos.
Remember that line where the girl was like, so you have all the infinity rings? And he said, of course, and his nails were painted the colors of the infinities. And I said, the infinity
and he's popping drugs the whole time, by the way.
Cannot.
They take trackers out, but they leave the drugs. Got it.
That makes sense.
I know it makes sense. I know it makes absolute sense for the chaos that they're trying to ensue. But whatever. After that game, now everybody's scared, obviously. They have a vote. Jihan tells everybody to vote for the game to end. That's when he tells them that he was the winner before. Because they're like, how the hell did you know that from before? And they vote. The front man, who was number one, it was a tie basically, and he cast the deciding vote to stay because
he had to win their trust. But also outside of that, right?
No, he
cast
it to stay.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't remember because there was a moment where I remember he casted in favor
later
of
on. Yeah, because
I was like, oh, look at you trying to manipulate them. You cute.
But there he didn't have a choice because like I'm deciding vote. It's either like he's already calculating how he's gonna spin this.
Yeah.
So then we go on to the next episode where player one is now, like I just said, he's gonna try and form an alliance with Jihan and basically tells a fake story about like why he's in it. I don't know if it was. Is it really untrue that is he not married and did his wife?
But here's the thing, I don't know. But how did he not like again? It was so big.
Because Wikipedia says fabricates a story, but I'm wondering.
Probably
it says fabricates a story based in truth. Okay.
But here's the thing, right? My thing is, again, I know you're traumatized, but you played this game before. Do not trust anybody. You've played this game before.
My thing with Jihan is not even not trust anybody.
It's just
player one. You had a specific like. It's the exact. He did the exact same shit as Oma.
But here's the thing.
Same playbook.
I felt like he went like impossible that this. Maybe he was like, oh, there's this one guy and he's dead or whatever, and like, you know what I mean? I don't know what he was thinking.
You should have clicked something in him where it was like.
I was just like, look at the way this guy moves. Why is he trying to be like?
Near
look
you?
at all the skills that this man has. He could be a leader in this type of situations and any other shows in any other situations. He would be the one people would be following.
But even just like he should have known. From the moment he cast the deciding vote. From the moment player one casted a vote to stay.
He didn't know.
You know that should have clicked something.
You didn't know, but you know how I didn't know? Because I think it was like the way the other people were reacting. Maybe it was like, oh, he's just thinking because he needs money because we're all in debt. And they're all in debt. And they'd rather be dead or they'd rather try than be dead than actually leaving. They want to try for the money because you remember their reaction when they saw the amount of money that was added because people died. They were like, not enough people died. Like really, like that's how they started behaving. Especially that one guy that kept opening his mouth like on the side of the people that wanted.
Okay, let me try.
Okay, pretty much. So we're in the game. So this guy named Thanos, you know the rapper, the annoying rapper.
He's not at the big
he's attacking. You see how I don't remember this. Player 124.
Oh yeah.
He's attacking player 124. Because I forgot
whatever.
why. Isn't it important? I don't remember. I really don't remember.
No. So the youth he's a YouTuber that used to give people financial advice, Bitcoin stuff, and he basically gave them.
He's so broke.
Well, he went broke because of this thing. and is in debt, and also made a lot of people bet on this, including the rapper Thanos, who's apparently very successful, but lost all of his money betting on or putting his coin in whatever finance stuff, and they lost all of it. So now him and the other player who used to watch him on YouTube.
Take for a few minutes. My thing is, with this Bitcoin situation, it's like, well, isn't it his fault if the people lost money, if he didn't actually coerce them into doing anything, if he didn't scam them, if he just said you should invest in this and then they follow through and it did not actually force anybody or like lie or whatever, then I don't know if that's his fault, really.
It's not.
So it's one of those things where I'm like, too bad. Too bad. And this episode is also the episodes where you'll be fine. Okay, this episode is also the episode where like we see that the guy that is leading the game, not the game master, but like I guess one of the lieutenant or whatever you want to call them, actually has some of the soldiers that are harvesting organs to sell in the black market from like the bodies that they get from the players that are dead. But the doctor who's harvesting the organs is basically saying there's nothing salvageable in these bodies because they've been dead for too long. I need y'all to bring me in live players. So basically like hurt them enough so that they're out of commission, but like not enough that they're dead and I can't harvest the organ for them to be fresh to actually sell on the black market. Which, I mean, that's very coherent. Like that goes with the game. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, black market organs, yeah, beautiful.
I mean, why not take advantage of it?
That's what I'm trying to say. So it's one of the things. It's okay. All right. So pretty much one of the at that moment, the main guy, forgot his name. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Jihan has told the players, okay, I'm that guy. I won the previous game. So they come to him and they're like, oh, you must know what the second game is gonna be then, if you knew what the first game was.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, the second game should be, the little cookie thing that they had to like remove with like a needle. And so he tells everybody, okay, and they were like, okay, what are the shapes that we're going to have to deal with? So he explained the different shapes that they had. And he said, well, the hardest was the umbrella. And people were like, why would anybody pick the umbrella? Like, they must have, all died. And he was just like, damn. And there's a little flashback to him, like, licking the little umbrella situation that he had in the first...
and they said, what's the easiest?
That's the thing. That's what the easiest, which was the triangle. So here's the thing: when they get to the game, the second game is not what he thought it was gonna be, and it's actually a thing where you have to win different games that children
like
games.
A sort of relay.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like there's like these different games that are set up and they're all tied together by a foot. They're all tied together and they have to walk, and each player has to play one of the games and pass that game in order to go to the next one. If you don't pass it, everybody has to go back and like keep doing it until like you can advance to the next level. And there's like 5 of them. So it's one thing where like you have to, it's like a turning top, so like a spinning thing. There's
one thing where you have to throw,
there's like
to hit the tombstone.
Yeah, there's like some dice that you have to like catch. I don't know the name of this game, but we have a lot of cultures have that game. The thing where you kind of like les osselets, I think that's called in French, but I forgot the name in English. Good. Okay. And then they have, obviously that's not fun if there's no timer on it. Why would they allow them to play forever until they can pass? So they have only 5 minutes to do it. Mind you, they are all tied together, so they have to coordinate to actually walk to the things and do the thingy. They get themselves into little groups, and some of them die, some of them pass.
They divide it by like they ask each person what they're good at, and they try to do that. Some people, player 1, fuck that nigga, I'm just saying.
And it's also one of those things where like, a bunch of them died, but the first one that passed, everybody was like cheering them on because they were like, okay, we can do this. Like you could see them being like, okay, we could do this. Like it's feasible. Yeah. As all of this is going on, that one woman that Nicky talked about earlier, that is one of the shooters in the game, who's looking for her daughter, she realized that the guys were actually not properly killing the players, and she goes, every time she sees one is just injured, she would go and just finish them to make sure that they're not able to do what they want to do with their bodies, because she's just like, I'm ending their suffering. And so she continued to do this, but like the other shooters are noticing that she's not like following protocol, which is not really protocol. This is just an off protocol that this one lieutenant was like, we're just gonna do this and you just need to listen to me. So it was, that episode is just, entrance to like the game and really like
to the second game.
No, when I say entrance to the game, like, because the first game for me is like, yes, entrance to the game, but for us as viewers, we've seen the first game before. So for me, this one was more like, oh, okay, we're gonna see new things,
right?
Which I was kind of excited about because I was just like, ooh, what else are they gonna introduce for me to see? And also I was like, with that storyline of her like not allowing them to like harvest the organs because she would kill them, I was like, what is going to be the consequence of her actions? Mm-hmm. I was really like, okay, if we're gonna go into the organization, which is what I wanted to see more of in that season, I was just like, okay, that would be an interesting thing to like go into.
So I do want to say like the Bitcoin nigga, I don't understand how they find all these people that know each other. I know it's for the show, but like, why are you meeting your best friend in here, your ex-girlfriend?
I feel like they do it on purpose so they can kill each other faster, maybe.
So the Bitcoin guy.
Also, they're watching. Remember how we watched Secret Story and whatever, all those shows? We like when people kind of like, oh my god, I know you from this. You know?
Yeah, they like to make it more dramatic. So he the Bitcoin ex-girlfriend, she's there and she's pregnant. He didn't know that she was pregnant.
Oh, that's the Bitcoin guy? Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. I don't know. I didn't really,
Because he thought that she had gotten an abortion, which is, I guess, what he had suggested. And, she did what she wanted to do. And she's here to make money for her baby.
But also, he did not show up when she was there. Because she literally called him from the clinic. And she was like, where are you? And he was not there. So.
See, I didn't even know that. It's so funny how, I mean, like I don't know what's happening. But then no, details that I don't know.
But Visor, you see, it makes sense. I'd be remembering certain things and then you be remembering other things. And then it's good.
That's true.
So,
now, one thing I do want to say about that game 2, I was very much understanding at this point that player 1 frontman wants Jihan to die, and I think he made a snap decision during his turn on whether he was gonna keep losing on purpose because he was clearly throwing the game, or if he was gonna continue winning and build the trust and make it even more painful in the end. And I was thinking about this, and I'm like, okay, if he runs the timeout, this one they're shooting you directly in the face. So what is it gonna is it gonna be like they're gonna shoot him?
They were the last team to go. There was them and another team. It was gonna be clean. They were gonna shoot everybody, and they were maybe gonna shoot everybody else first, and then they could just. Because I remember watching.
But wait, no, there was people alive that stayed alive.
No, but like
there was nobody else in there.
It was. You remember how it was 2 teams going on each time? On each side. So I feel like, to answer your thing, what they would have done is, because there's 2 teams, is the team over there, if they win, make them pass on to wherever they need to go afterwards, or kill all of them if they lose. And then if Jihan's team loses, they kill every single one of all 4 but player 1, and then nobody would know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not right, but I'm just saying that would make sense because there were nobody else.
Yeah, I was thinking they're gonna.
Because I was like, why are they last?
I was like, they're gonna shoot him in a place that won't kill him. Maybe like.
Oh yeah, maybe like
the leg or something, or just so that it seemed like a shot was off, and then he would just lie down until they.
I feel like he would not want to be shot. I feel like he would actually throw a fit and be like, "You shot me!" Like, that would make sense.
But yeah, so they survived the game, and then they
episode 5.
Oh, they were still playing that game. Okay. So they told each other their real names.
Yeah, and I guess the homegirl, that decided to shoot the players for mercy, she's attacked because the lieutenant is like, y'all need to go and keep her in check because somebody snitches and he says, whoa, somebody's killing off the thing. Why are you snitching? Like, please. So they're like, he's like, oh, you need to go and like check.
Because he wants the money from the organs.
Yeah, you need to go and check her. So first, she's being called to the, what's it called? Because he calls her first to his office, I guess. And he's like,
what's happening?
He's like, haven't I done, like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, are you worried? At first he's like, are you worried of what the boss will say? Like, the game master, are you worried? Don't worry about it. Like, it's handled. And she's like, nah, when you hired me, you said that I would put people out of their misery. And so this is what I'm doing.
Oh, that's what they told.
That's why she's showing mercy, because she's like, I'm putting you out of your misery. I'm not making you suffer more. That was the point. And the guy didn't like her answer, but she was like, that's my answer. And I feel like she's also in a position where her daughter's not there. Just before that, there was a thing where she was like, they told her that like you won't find your daughter, like it's too complicated at this point. I believe it was something like this, which I think that's why she doesn't care no more. What does she have to lose? She already escaped from North Korea. She managed to escape. That's insane. Mm-hmm. So she survived death. She's killing people, and then you're asking her to do something she don't want to do. At this point, she really don't. She could not care less. So that was the first thing. When he realized that she wasn't gonna budge, that's when he sent the little other two guys to like, attack her in her room. And they were like, "Oh, I thought you was gonna be taller," because I guess they don't know each other's faces. They just know their numbers. The same.
I thought you were gonna be like uglier.
He did say that, but like. I don't remember.
It was very
rapey. Oh my god, I watched that scene. I was like, if they rape this woman here, I will actually switch off my TV. I was like, no, please don't.
Scratch her face for no reason.
I was like, you're already killing people. We don't need to do all of this. So he's like, yeah, let me rearrange your face. So I don't know, let me make a thing on your face, which is.
So I do want to remind people.
One of those things.
That, they had a vote after the first game. They're now also having a vote after the second game. And the first game, the people, like, the thing that they're doing now, I don't think they did in the first season, is they're dividing. If you say no and you leave, that money that was won accumulated up to that point is divided amongst the players. So
yeah, it's one of those things where it gets interesting because, and also I was like, I see what they do here. This is gonna be a game. They get to
that's psychological, because the more you see it grow, the more you want more.
And it's like, oh my god, and they keep being like, I calculated it. If we all play one more game, we're out with this amount of money. So just one more game. And then as the games goes on, like if we all play one more game, we're just gonna, no, y'all are not gonna get that money. Y'all are all gonna be dead. But okay, go off.
Everybody keeps on one more game.
Keeps playing. So like they pretty much, like you said, it's literally, these people keep being like, no, we need to keep playing. We need to keep playing. And then, main guy is just like, I just want to save everybody. Don't y'all want to save yourselves? Like, I just want to save y'all. Are y'all, like, I'm just like, sir, at this point, just give up. You back in the game, these people are insane.
Because everybody was like decided to vote for one more game.
It's literally fine, and it's interesting as you see the psychology of the people that choose to stay. You see it develop. I think they spent a lot of time on developing that aspect. Meanwhile,
and you also see kind of like where desperation turns into survival, where survival turns into greed. Like at first it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm gonna survive through the next game. Then you see the money in it. For some people, that greed takes over. Not all, because clearly some people, the fear took over, and they were like, but in each sequence, the majority was the people who their greed took over.
But you want to know something that's funny too? Not funny, but it's like as I'm watching these people be like, yeah, we'll end the game after. If the majority chooses to, the game ends. For me, the game ends means all of y'all about to die. Because they don't want nobody to know that this thing exists. Why would they send this amount of people? 300 people. For me, if I'm the game master, game over. Game over. I kill all of y'all.
They don't follow their own rules, which is so. Because that's my thing.
That would be me. I'll be like, game over. You're dead.
That's my thing that always pissed me off, because they always start the games like, oh yeah, like, and when everybody realizes that there's death involved, they're like, well, we gave you the choice, like we told you. Like, no, the fuck you didn't. Like, my thing is like, you don't give them all of the information in advance. Sure. If you say, we're about to play a game, basically of Simon Says Stop. And if you move, I'm going to shoot you in the head.
But if you don't move, you can win up to, I don't know how many billions. People are going to try it because they're like,
I think people are going to try it, but off that first game, when they haven't seen the money yet, when it's not a reality yet, I'm guaranteeing you 70% of people are fucking
I'm not sure.
70%.
I'm not sure.
I'm not getting shot over no game.
You wouldn't even be in a situation where they would hand you the card. Because you know what I'm saying? You would not, and even if they hand you the card, you'd be like, I'm going to stay in debt. I'm very good. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm like, at this point,
so that's the second vote.
For me, they were gonna kill everybody. That's my own personal opinion. Because why would I have 200 over people running their mouth in Korea talking about, oh, I was in that game and I almost won some money? What? No, I'm killing all of y'all.
I just want to say as well, during this time, Frontman changed his vote on this second vote. So now he's like what Emmy said earlier. Now he's trying to play that little.
In the blue, they did blue versus red, which I love. Also, it's still like video games coded, which I love too. And while all of this is happening, the mercenaries are continuing to search for the island.
No, they suck.
It's one of those things where
they're very bad at it.
they don't really have that much to go off of. Like, they don't have a tracker no more. They don't have nothing. Like, at this point, they're just, like you said, they're playing in the sea. I don't know what you said earlier, but they're just roaming the seas to try and find some solution. A new game is introduced. This game is called, I guess, Mingle. Mm-hmm. And so all the players are like on a spinning wheel in the middle, and there's a bunch of rooms. And as the voice calls a number, they need to form groups of that number and then run towards a room and get in that room with this specific amount of people. Mind you, I'm sure there's not enough room. Mind you, they only have 30 seconds to do so. And people are so focused on who I have an alliance with.
Do you know you have 30 seconds?
Literally. So they're so focused on like, oh, I don't like this person, I like this person, that they're trying to stay alive with the people. No! Split up and just grab whoever.
Whoa.
Just grab whoever. The way, if I'm seeing you and you're like, I just grab you and like
that game is chaotic.
I'm surviving.
Chaotic, bro. Like, it's like, they tell you how much group, what the number to form, and then you have to go in there, and it's like, at first you're like, okay, you have your group, let's say you guys are like 5 friends, okay, but then what happens when they say 3? What happens when they say 2? Like, it's like, oh my god, that shit was fucked up. And that's the game where a homeboy who's in there with his mama tried to ditch his mama, and I was like,
first of all, they grabbed him. And he was like, Mom. He didn't even try to because they grabbed him. He didn't even try to be like, yo, let go of me, let me go find my mom. He was just like, Mom.
It was like, Michelle.
And I was like,
but you motherfucker.
True, but you want to know something? As I'm watching this thing, right, I was just like, here's the issue. Alliances in this are very particular. Having your mom in there has to be one of the things that has to make you one of the weakest link in this thing.
Of
because
course.
If you was a normal person, you care about your mom a bit more than what you know. So I was just watching this thing, and I was just like, well, I hope this little lady survives a little bit longer. But at the same time, it's like I need one of them two to die. I was like, I wouldn't mind the son to die.
The son, I can't.
But
like, it's like how like in Squid Game, the challenge, the reality show they did, how old lady won. I'm gonna need it to be her and Jihan to survive somehow, because y'all pissing me off. Y'all, listen, pushing pregnant ladies. And old ladies, I didn't like it.
True, but also in this game, I don't care if you're pregnant.
I get it.
I don't care if you're an older lady. I may help you. I'm not going to.
See, here's my thing.
If you're slowing me down, I'm not here.
Here's my thing.
I'm not here.
I'm mad at Jihan because I'm too much Jihan. Okay, I'm the fucking idiot that would have been out here trying to help dummies.
And I would be your friend, grabbing you and be like, you won't let that person be because you need to survive. I don't care.
Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, listen, let me help her.
And then this would be me, and I'll be like, we're going, because what do you mean? I'm sorry,
it's tough.
Remember in the planes when they said you have to put your oxygen mask on before you can put the oxygen mask on somebody else? This is one of those cases, except it's only you.
Facts.
So
real quick before we start episode 6, I just want to say, like, some of the players that we didn't talk about. One player that I really love, I don't know her name, but she's the trans woman, and she is like,
she's great.
Her acting is on point,
yeah.
And also like you feel the like, even though it's the game, you still feel the self-consciousness about it. Even though like you would think in this situation like,
but they addressed
I don't
it
care if they addressed it, but like,
so nice.
But she was like, no, like I didn't bend over in this way because I didn't want people seeing things, and I'm used to people talking to me this way, and like I love the little relationship that started forming between her and the older woman, and the protectiveness. Like even though she gave her little old school views and stuff like. Ooh, like why are you doing that? Oh, well, you're not a pretty one. I was like, God damn, like
it was
like you're not passing. I was like, ma'am, that's not nice.
It's okay, but I think they did that pretty well. They wrote it so seamlessly that it didn't feel forced into the story,
at all.
Which happens a lot with different type of when they typecast people. They do tend to write it forcibly in the story, but this one was very well written in my mind. Like I really.
Now let's talk about my favorite episode, because Thanos.
So
he says, and is it Thanos or Thanos?
I don't know. Listen, so we get to episode 6. Mind you, there's 7 episodes. Mind you, there's 7 episodes. I was mad.
Yeah,
I was mad. So they're playing the game. You know, allyship and stuff like that don't work in this game. In this particular episode, So here's the thing. They announced that's the final call. They announced you need to be 2 in each little room. Jihan runs with player number 1. They run to go towards somewhere. And then I guess they get knocked over in the chaos of things. He gets in a room with somebody and he's like, "You need to get out." And he's like, "We were there." No,
you mean
I forgot.
It wasn't with Jihan. It was
with somebody else.
Jihan's friend. Jung Bae is with player 1.
It's literally like we need to, like, he's like, "We were in the room first." He moves one guy out of the room and then he grabs the second as literally we're like 1 second or 2 or 3 seconds to the clock, closes the room and starts like strangling. Well, I don't know how it's called. You know?
Yeah, he's strangling
him or breaking his neck. I don't know.
He's
the military thing when they're doing this.
Cut his breath. He's strangling him.
He's doing that.
I'm in a chokehold.
So that they're the only 2 alive players at that moment. And Jihan's friend witnesses this thing, and I'm looking at this man like, I'm like, if y'all didn't know this man was not normal, now y'all should know. Now,
so here's
y'all should know.
Here's again what pissed me off with these.
Oh my god!
Because one, earlier, player 1 also slightly played his hand, where he called Jihan by his name before they had revealed the names to each other, and Jihan was like, "How you know my name?" He's like, "Oh, I heard your friend say it." But he hesitated just enough where Jihan should have put one. Yes, there was the name.
That's what I'm saying.
There was player 1.
It was so many moments.
Right. There was voting for like being. There was, and then this moment where he kills the nigga, and this is not the first time he has showed his fucking military training that he has, because he also defended Bitcoin homeboy that was getting beat up in one of the episodes with some weird ass moves that were like some 2 fingers to the whatever. It was really, people were like, "What the fuck? Like, who are you?" Like, so nobody has any other whatever. So he kills that, and then Jung Bae, even after he says that, there was during that third vote of that day, it was like he was about to tell Jihan and he kept stopping every time, and I was like, "What the fuck, just say it." I hate when TV shows do this. Like, oh, there was an interruption, so now I can't speak.
No, but also, yeah, true. I hate when they do that, and it's like the first thing, I'm leaving that room. Here's me. So you know what this man? No, because I'll be like, "Do you know what this man did?" I would be the first thing. I'm like, "This is what this man did. I know you trust him, but you shouldn't trust him because
that was weird, and it made me question Jung Bae, like the friend. Like, it made me.
I was questioning him from time because clearly it's not that smart. But hey, I guess a lot of people in there are not that smart. Look at Thanos or Thanos. I don't know. Listen, Thanos.
So here they were counting. At that point, they started counting, and they're like, "Yo, here's how much we need to win the vote. Do we go and like force others, persuade others?" And then basically they were saying like, "No, like let's not try to get people on our side, because what if we persuade them the other way, or like let's just see how it plays out."
Unneeded conversation between number 1 and the main guy, because it's like, I'm looking at this way and I'm like, the people across from you're not gonna change their mind. It's the 3rd game where they've witnessed people being shot in the face, and they're not traumatized enough that they want to leave. Literally, because if it's the first time you've seen somebody die, for sure you're traumatized. But clearly, they're well-functioning human beings, because they're like, "Ooh, money," or maybe it's the only way their brain can cope with that. I don't know. So my thing is, I'm watching this whole conversation and I'm like, that don't make no sense.
It was useless. Yeah,
it didn't make no sense.
And in the end, anyways, they don't do anything. They go for the vote, and again, the deciding vote fell to player 1, and this time he voted again to leave, but it just was enough to tie it. It wasn't enough. So what the game soldiers, whatever, say, they're like, "Okay, since it's a tie, we're gonna give you guys time to think. You're gonna vote again tomorrow."
Oh, and that's the part I liked. And this is where this is where I liked it.
Okay.
So
as of this part, okay.
Oh my
God.
Now,
like, you know how they're all labeled O and X, like they're counting each other. They're trying to see, okay, here's like, so now the tensions are rising, because they're like, okay, some people are like, so we might fucking leave tomorrow, and then Thanos and his group of Xers, fucking insane ass people, Xers, yeah. They're just like, "Bro, one more game,
it's all the drugs." And he was like, "What?" Because one guy was like, "What kind of drug is it?" It's like, it's like something you've never tried before. It's like, it's stronger than anything. Do you see how crazy this one was acting? So yeah, I guess they go in the bathroom and they decide to kill each other, which I was looking forward to. Because
it's good for Thanos, because he went in there bullying, trying to get people to change their votes, bitch ass nigga.
The way it was killed, girl. Why this man on top of the other one literally strangling? You could see this man turning purple And he had a little spoon.
And it's funny because the game organizers knew it was gonna happen. Like this was all planned out because they gave them the forks in this meal. And two, when they were preparing something, like when you see that little square board or whatever, they were like, "Oh, get ready for the special game."
Yeah, but they didn't say it this time. They said it right after this. They said it as the night was about to happen. That's why I was like, "Oh, I like y'all." I was like, "Cause no," but here's the thing. Because as I was watching this, I was just like, I would have loved to be in the room with people that created this show, because you also have to think about what kind of game.
Sick and twisted, yeah.
You just have to think about what kind of game we could use in a way that could, be that. And they were like, "Oh, what if we use that thing as a special game?" I thought that was brilliant. I loved it.
I thought that was sick. Yes. So the fight ensues in the bathroom.
He's being stabbed right here. You see
the guy who his ex-girl is pregnant.
He stabs him
got
right
that
here.
sweet revenge. I loved it for him.
I'm like, this is a little tender spot. I know.
I was like, that's what you get, my boy. I'm so sorry.
I was just like, and the shooters, they're just outside the door. I love when they film that, where they were just outside the door, like,
because they don't give a fuck. They're like, kill each other.
So
you attack me, okay, but kill.
At some point, they do bring them back though. I feel like at some point they're like, "Okay, stop. It's enough."
Did they break them up?
Yeah, at some point they're like, "It's enough. Let's go back. Let's go back."
Because I feel like people just was like, they just started getting winded. They were like, "All right, y'all."
And they were just like, when they came back, they were like, "They attacked us because we wanted to stay."
Each team was placing blame. The O's were like, but we find out that the X's lost the most.
They lost the most, and they were like, "Oh my God, we need to do something to rectify the situation," which is when they announced, like, "Okay, let's get ready for the special game," which the special game where, main guy is discussing with player one, okay, they're going to attack tonight, and we need to know, are we going to join the fight, or are we going to, like, save ourselves? And they were like, "No, we can't join the fight. We need to stay alive, so we need to go under the bed and hide, because they're going to come for us during the night." And I'm watching this, and I'm like, hold on. Because that scene lasted a little while, and I thought not a lot of people died. That's just my opinion, compared to what I thought it was going to be.
Well, yes. And
when they attacked during the night, I was just like...
Because I do want to say, like, it seems like a lot of this one, the players are younger than the first one. Like, the first one, the players seem more middle-aged. Yeah.
Okay.
And this one, it was a lot of Gen Zs to young millennials.
Makes sense.
And
Makes sense.
I was like, these niggas is ruthless. These people are like, because after the first game, they was like, "Bro, I'm out. Let's leave." And they actually got sent back home. It was actually the second invite where Jihan had come back. They were like, "Okay, so you went back. Your life still sucks. You want to come?" That was the thing. They actually had left. The vote had went in their favor. So this one, when it keeps being the majority to stay, I was just like, y'all, what's wrong with y'all?
Y'all all millennials and in debt because we can't access anything in the market.
I actually was watching this one video and I was like, it kind of shows a little bit to maybe the shift of the world too in the last few years. Like, the desperation in people is maybe greater or something, like, or willing to do this. Maybe also mental health that we're not looking at. We did have the first one where some of the players were suicidal and stuff like. So I don't know. It was an interesting dichotomy to see. And then we end off that episode again with the boat searchers failing. They just keep failing.
How they go and look? They find a door somewhere in the middle of the woods on an island, and they're like, "Ooh, there's a door. Let's go check it out." Bomb. I'm like, y'all are not prepared for anything. I'm tired.
I'm so tired. It literally starts off episode 7 when we find out that Captain Park is a double agent. He sabotaged one of the drones and then killed that man, shot him off the boat, and then fooled the little loan shark helper guy. And he's like, "Oh, it's fine, just go to bed." I was like so mad because I was like, "No, Captain, I kind of liked you with your little funny jokes and being drunk, old man, and being like, oh, I wish I had never saved you."
I did not like this man.
I kind of liked him.
I did not like him. From that time, he said, "You know what? When police guy said, 'You know what? I think I'm gonna stop looking. Like, that don't make sense." And he's like, "Yeah, but you'll be back next week." I was like, "Oh, I don't like you. I don't like you. Let this man."
I just thought he was an old drunk. I know a lot of old drunks.
So. I mean, that would make sense. The profile was well chosen for this particular.
That's how they be talking. I was like, okay.
But it's just one of those things where, like, as pretty much what I said before was actually in this episode, not the previous episode, but I was so excited about it because like it was one of the best part of the show. Literally, I was waiting for some more action to happen because I thought the games were kind of, except the spinning wheel thingy. I thought the second game was meh. Compared to what we were given.
You mean you like the plan to take the guns?
Yeah, that's that scene.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say Jihan's plan was idiotic.
No, I was missing. Here's what I'm saying. Season 1 was gorgeous and beautiful. And
it was something we had never seen before.
No, true, but the games were a bit more intricate than second game. The second game was meh. I was like, yeah, it's not.
But we haven't seen the rest. But true, I don't know if this is going to continue.
I'm saying at that time, at that moment, I was very excited to see like some actual fight scene and some action and like, something.
Give me some blood, niggas.
Because I was just like, yeah, we get it. Okay, please give me something that I'm not going to be. Because I'm not going to lie.
She was bored up till now.
I was kind of bored.
She was like, okay.
I was kind of bored. It's not bad. I didn't dislike it, but I was kind of bored. Like, with the amount of content that has come out in the last few years, I feel like you need a lot to, at least for me, to keep me engaged fully in a show. And I feel like this one, compared to the first season, was kind of lacking some of that. So I was really excited that we got to that moment where they all, decided to kill each other. But here's the thing. How are you deciding to hide and pretend that you're dead, and as they come and scan your tag, you grab the guns? What did you expect you were gonna do?
So here's the thing.
What did he expect? No, what did he expect was gonna happen?
Jihan tells everybody they're gonna take their guns, and immediately you saw the front man's face like, okay, what the fuck this nigga up to, And he was already, because I hate Jihan for not noticing any cues, and already he's trying to figure out how the fuck am I gonna thwart this plan. And he came up with like, okay, the minute I have a chance to get away from them, that's what I have to do and get to the main headquarters. They only have a plan to take the guns, and then what?
Oh, then they're gonna go to the headquarters and deal with the people there. That was his whole plan. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go up to the office, and I guess I'm gonna talk to the manager. That was his plan, which is not a plan. It's just dumb.
So during the fight that was happening, Jihan and his team, they stay hidden. They managed, like Emmy said, to get a bunch of the guns from the soldiers. They start a rebellion in there. My girl, I don't know who had military training. I don't know her name in the show, but my favorite trans woman character that I was talking about.
Oh, she was out here talking about this is the gun.
She was like, here's how you use it. She was in the military.
And I said,
y'all got it? I was like, this is how you reload. Okay, I'm reloading. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, and they caught on real quick, but suspend disbelief. Everybody knows how to use it.
Suspend disbelief, because really, she explained and I said, I know. I would be like, excuse me, what did you say the thing was, and how do I...
I'm sorry, because I've never used a gun in my life, and it was just like...
And also, it's not a regular gun, too. It's the ones with the...
rifles.
I'm sorry.
I was like, are you kidding? But okay, sure. Everybody got it, and they were like reloading it. Now, they've killed a whole bunch of the soldiers. They're in the hallways. They're in that maze staircase place.
Which I love. Side note, just I love that set design.
Very nice.
Oh my god, I love the set design.
Very nice. They're using the walls as cover, and they're taking some of them out. You can tell the game leaders are panicking a little bit.
But just pause for a second. Mm-hmm. Before they left, they said, "Who want to join us? We're gonna take over." All the people were like frightened. They were like, "No, we're not going." Here's my thing. Here's my thing. This is again one of those things where the 1% will always win over the 99% because the 99 don't believe that they're enough to actually take over. This was the perfect representation of there's probably more of y'all that there's soldiers. They just know that they keep you in that mind control situation. There's more of y'all, most likely, or at least in the same number.
They needed those people too, but
come on. They needed a lot of people.
At least maybe the older people and the pregnant girl. But other than that, y'all some pussies. Y'all ain't shit because you're like, I'm willing to die if you're gonna die and then I get more money added to the pot. But to save my life?
No, but the son of the lady, he wanted to go and she was like, don't go. You should have went. You should have went. At least to die properly because clearly he didn't want to help his mom. So at least die in that situation trying to do something. Yeah. That was my whole thing. I was just looking at these people being like, one, they so wanted to stay there because they wanted to maintain the status quo because they wanted that money. But the second thing is also they were so afraid that they were not going to be able to overthrow them. And I was just like, You know, you could just.
I mean, at this point, what the fuck do y'all have to lose?
For real!
'Cause-
Half of y'all already dead. I don't get it.
So then, the thing, as they're during the rebellion and they're shooting and stuff and fighting, and you know, player one's putting on a hell of a show, boy, I tell you. This nigga.
I'm watching him the whole time and I'm like, ooh. I'm literally counting the seconds till this man does actually what he was supposed to do from time.
Yeah. But
it was
they start running out of ammo, so military trained girl, I don't know her name.
Yeah,
she's kind of the leader, and she sends somebody.
She doesn't send. She said, "I'm gonna go back," and he said, "No, I'll go."
Oh, okay.
She said, "I'm gonna go back."
She was gonna go first. Yeah, okay, and then so the other guy went pissing on himself, nigga, piss ass, bitch ass nigga.
Okay, I have a question. This is the first time you're fighting for your life with a rifle.
Then why are you saying?
But because maybe the adrenaline at that moment got you up on your feet, running to grab the thing, and then that. Once he was in a safer place, his brain just
like,
his brain just
shit, what the fuck am I doing?
His brain was just like,
because he went in there and got all the ammo.
He was traumatized.
And then came back out and heard all them shots ring out. He was like, God damn.
Girl, like I feel like he got immediate PTSD. It
was like, nope. And he went back in there and basically, good luck, niggas.
I'm not even gonna lie. I wasn't even mad at him for that because I'm like, I don't even know how I would react in that. This is.
I was annoyed.
It's like you could be I was annoyed too, but I'm not mad at him because I'm like, I don't even know. He went. At least he did something. The other ones, they didn't do anything. They didn't even help him grab the ammo. So,
I would have went, dropped the ammo off, ran back to safety. I'm like, I'm not helping y'all no more, but here's the ammo.
He could have literally been like, here's the ammo, and then just go back.
Yeah.
But you know.
So then, in the meantime, let me see if they say her name here. They don't say. But anyways, the other, military experienced girl goes when they can't see the guy that they sent for a long time and they're out of ammo. She goes, gets the ammo, comes back. In the meantime, Jung Bae and Jihan had been taking one of the little soldiers hostage to take them to the main office or whatever.
Of course, there's that one staircase. Mm-hmm. That brings you back up. And if there's another moment where they should have known that player one was a double agent, another moment when he said, I think there's another way for us to get there. How the fuck do you know? Why do you listen to this man that literally, y'all come from the same way you say, I think I may have found a way up. You don't know if it's a way. How do you know?
There's so many reasons. So many times they should have suspected this nigga.
Oh my God, I hate this so much.
And Jung Bae still at
2
this
years
point.
2 years later, you're still dumb?
Yeah. Jung Bae still at this point had not told Jihan what he saw, so it's like, it's stupid, bro. And basically, they're fighting off soldiers in the stair, and then finally, player one gets to that place.
Yep. And he's just.
And he starts shooting. He shows his real colors. He he went up first, put on his attire.
He first killed the guys he was with because he was with somebody. Or out of one or two,
he was with.
He shot them, and then he took the thing, and he was just like, he used the gas as one of the guys that he killed to pretend that he was dying.
Yeah.
So main guy thought this man was dead, and he had more rage into it. The mind games. I love that though. That was
because now he knows what makes Jihan tick.
The mind games.
And,
also, side note, player one, the actor. I'm
amazing.
Obsessed with him. Fantastic. I saw him in another show. I'm obsessed with this man.
Fantastic.
So good. Oh my god.
So he goes and now he puts on his frontman attire, comes back out. So now Jihan and Jung Bae still don't know who he is, but he's like facing them
with a little black mask.
Yeah.
I know this mask gonna be nice for Halloween next year. The people going, hey.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, Jihan, are you proud of yourself? Did you enjoy your little game? Was it worth it? Your friend's death? And then shoots Jung Bae.
He was like, literally, this is what you did.
R.I.P. Pour some out for Jung Bae. And now,
they take him.
They take him, and we don't know what's going to happen. And it ends season 2 of Squid Game.
Part 1.
Or part 1, but they're calling what's coming up season 3.
I hate Netflix for that. Call it season 2, part 2.
Yeah, because this was all filmed together, but they decided to split it up. My overall thoughts of the season, this is very fucking annoying. The show dragged. I told Emmy this. I was like, this... Obviously, season 1 was lightning in a bottle. It's hard to recapture that
also,
magic.
it came at a time where we were all... It was 2021. it was during a peak time where TV and show consumption was at an all-time high. This was one of the greatest things that I came out. Season 1 came out in 2021. So there's also a difference in the way we've been consuming content ever since 2021, and also the quality of content in 2021. And also, side note, they could have done 8 episodes. What happens after? Why only 7? And if you do only 7 episodes for part 2, Netflix, what are you trying to do with your format? We've been used to 8 episode format. What are you doing? Or bring us back to 22 episode long format, or 12, something.
Yeah, it's okay. Make the episodes 40 minutes.
Damn it.
22
We'll
minutes.
watch them.
That's okay. But anyways, yeah, I think acting wise, the actors were great. I still think that everybody's performance was up to Thanos. I know he was supposed. I think he's actually a real rapper. Somebody told me. I don't know. He was supposed to make me hate him. I get it, but even he was just cringe. He was unbelievable to me.
But I think, have you seen some of the superstars that they be in this world? Some of them are cringe as hell.
Yes, but
especially the YouTubers and the whatever.
The appropriation was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah. Just quick side note. There's this content creator, is a black guy from England that moved to it's not Korea, but he moved to Tokyo, Japan. And he's been saying how this, what you just talked about, is heavy apparently over there. And he's been talking about for a while. Like when the people speak, sometimes they speak with a black accent or like whatever.
I was like, apparently, what is happening?
Apparently it's a thing. Boy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently it's a thing.
I was like, somebody kill this man. And they did, so thank you. But yeah, like, I mean, again,
was insane.
Even though they stretched it out more, I had less connection with the people. I think it's one thing one of the reasons probably why this was meant to be a limited series. One of the things I kept thinking about is, damn, I missed the old cast. Where does and I remember, they're all dead. Like I kept having to remind myself, like, oh, where is so and so? Like, where'd she? What happened to her? Oh, she's dead. I was like, he's dead too.
I wanted to see. Here's the thing: what you said about the connection to the cast. Unfortunately, we did not get that as much as they managed to do it with.
There's only 2 people I really liked.
That's what I'm saying. They managed to do it with her because they wrote it so well. The pregnant girl, they tried, but I didn't create that because
she was kind of annoying.
It takes a bit longer to create, I believe. But also,
I really liked the old lady because she was real. Yeah. Like y'all could come over, please vote so we can go home. I'll make food.
She was actually
like,
so cute.
I was like guys.
But my thing is, here's where I already said that earlier. My issue was really that I feel like the show was trying to go in 2 different directions, and they had to reconcile it real quick so they could finish the season 2, I guess. You're trying to take down the organization, meanwhile, like from the inside and the outside. But I think there's something that was lacking from that specific point of view and perspective where it's like, or unless they really wanted to create that hopelessness sense again from the main guy, but it's just like there's something that didn't feel right if you're gonna finish season 2 like this. That's what I'm saying. Maybe there's one episode to bring it all in perspective. There's something
they thought this was like,
there's
this is
something
a cliffhanger, boy.
That's something because it's like we knew from time that Player One was from he appeared on screen. I knew this man was it. Like, so I just needed
you knew
something.
Season 1 that it was on now?
Not from season 1. From
this Player One.
From this one, as he appears on screen, you're like, okay.
Yeah, we knew who he was.
No,
it was never a secret for us.
I know, but what I'm saying is, if we know from time, and you decided for the what's it called, the viewers to know from time, I need more than just a guy that saw him kill somebody once, trying to say it to the main guy multiple times and never says it. I need more than this. I need you to give me. There's something where. Yeah, something is lacking. Or give the police officer a little bit more lead or something. Because then how are you going to finish season 3? Unless you tell me that Netflix paid you for 2 more seasons, then now I'm mad because I just wanted season 1 because it was perfect.
Yeah. So it wasn't, listen, it was still better than 70% of shows. Facts. It was still, like, it was...
Facts.
Facts.
That's so sad. That's facts.
It still had a, good idea. I saw what they were trying to do, but again... I feel like capitalism really hurt him having to drag out certain things,
Season
make
one.
it as long to be able to split it into two. Maybe it was only original supposed to be, let's say, like 10 episodes, and they had to write 6 other episodes to do a 2-part. Like, some of that stuff really dilutes a show. So, I don't know. But
Also, I think also too much time has passed between the seasons, and that's just my personal opinion. This came out December 26th, which is basically almost in 2025. I think too much time has passed since that show. Like, we've seen so many other shows since then.
Mhm.
There's been so many other things, and like, sequels and other things have a tendency to not be as great when they wait too long to make them. Look at Gladiator 2. I know a lot of people liked it, but I just rewatched Gladiator 1, and I was saying, okay, I love seeing Denzel. I love it. But does it make it a great movie?
no.
You know? So I think that's also the thing with that, is that this man had an idea, and he wrote this idea, and he finished it. It was a finished product that the world loved, to the point where everybody for Halloween was dressed as the shooters and the players and stuff. And then they asked for a season 2. And I guess he was like, wow, what do I write?
I feel like that would have been the same thing with Lovecraft Country. It's just the other thing is, with Lovecraft Country, I wholeheartedly believe that them brains would have come up with something.
That would have been,
even though it was supposed to be limited, I was like, they're not finna come back if it's. And then I saw the little premise that Misha had put on as to what season 2 would have been. I was like, oh, yeah, they were gonna do it.
Here's my thing:
but
they're never gonna sell the rights to do Lovecraft. But if there's people that do fan fiction and y'all want to write the story of Lovecraft Part 2, I will gladly read it. If y'all want to drop the link, if it exists already, if y'all want to drop the link,
sure.
I will read it, because fan fictions be okay. So just saying.
Right. Okay. So
The villain,
the real villain. Still a good show though, and I love seeing the little Easter eggs. That's my favorite part, is going back and trying to find the little clues that they put.
And
so I'm excited to
do
see
well
what they
that.
do. Yes, I'm excited to see what they'll do for the next part of the season.
So wait, before real villain, I'm sorry. Rate it out of 10.
The season?
Yeah.
7.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. No, not for me.
What is it?
Oh, 5.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not me. It's like, if I'm going based off the first season, which I thought was like an 11 out of 10.
Facts.
Then I'll give this a 7, maybe 6.5, but that's the lowest I'll go.
I respect that. Okay.
The real villain, the villain, and the show villain for me.
Oh,
motherfucker, Frontman. Frontman is the show villain because obviously you know immediately that he's the villain. You know that he ain't shit. Ilnam is dead, but what are you doing? What do you get out of this, you creepy little bastard?
legacy.
Fucking, are you Ilnam's son? I have questions. I want to know things. Is Ilnam's Jihan's father? Are you guys brothers? Is that what I'm gonna? Anyways, I don't know.
First of all, it would be so fun. I swear, if that's what happens next show, they should just hire me.
I don't know. I was like, maybe Ilnam plotted all this so they eventually go and catch. I don't know. But he's the show villain. But the real villain, god damn it, is that damn recruiter. Fuck you, recruiter. Because you know why? Because the recruiter, you out here going from subway station to subway station, preying on the weakest and the downest people of society, being happy while doing it. And he's just like, I'm thinking if they do 456 players a year, I'm thinking he's the only recruiter. Okay? It's not that much. Like, he can do it over a couple months. Let's say he does like 5 people a day. You want to do it? You want to do it? Cool. You suck. You're a terrible person. Get 100 of the homeless people. Just listen. He was out here. Mm-hmm. He is the villain. Fuck that nigga. And whoever comes to replace him, because I gotta get a new one now.
I'm sure they have a few people they could, you know.
One of the soldiers, hey, you want to make a little more
money? There's somebody you know that medicine that your brother needs? We can get it for you unlimited, okay? if you just do that.
Terrible. When that nigga said, I saw my dad in the game, and I just was like, it was a test. I was like, that's how I knew I was made for this. I just shot him in the forehead. I was like,
but yeah, we don't know what happened with that. That's terrible. All right, show villain. I mean, obviously the Game Master, because oh my god, It's like I love a good villain so much. Like I love a good villain, and I think
he plays it well.
I think that's the thing. He plays it well. The costume is insane. I'm sorry, it's not
His
even a
mask is
complicated costume, but it's just a thing where I'm like the aura that it gives. Love that.
I love how also the mask has different angles and face. It's like because he has multiple faces.
I love that. So definitely him. That's the show villain. The real villain. Here's my thing. The real villain for me is not just. It's
I feel like I know who it is.
It's not one person.
Oh.
The real villain for me is all these people that kept wanting to. No, because especially that one guy that I don't remember his name, but
he
one
was
guy
like,
that was
a business
he was an
guy.
antagonist. Yeah, and he kept being like, yeah, but what do you know?
He was so annoying.
I was like, shut up.
I was like, Matt, you look like you'll lose the next game.
And it's like literally people were listening to you because he kept screaming. I'm like, stop.
I know exactly.
I wanted
what
him
you're
to die so
He
much.
so
I
annoying.
promise you, I was like, I wanted him to be one of the first one to die because I was like, you keep yapping, and I don't like you. So villain for me is those people that decided to keep voting to stay and remain in the game, because I feel like there's a certain level of either you're naive or stupid or both that you're like they're gonna let us, all of us, go with a split of the money. That don't make sense. If they're killing people for the sole pleasure of killing people and giving you a lot of money afterwards, what makes you think that they will let you leave this place alive, that many of you? That don't make sense.
They won't.
So,
well,
yeah. It's listen,
and
again, 5 out of 5 because, yeah, my 5.5 out of 10. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I didn't engage with the first 2 episodes. Out of 7 episodes, for me, that's a lot of episodes that I didn't engage with, and I feel like
because episode 1 was my favorite one. Episode
like
1 and the last one.
Something was lacking, so that's my But I'm definitely gonna watch season 3 anyways.
We're still gonna watch. Yeah, make sure to follow us right here and subscribe and like.
Where?
Here.
Okay, so here.
Yeah, here.
Not here. Cool.
Anyways, so and
she
also,
hates me. It's okay.
I don't. We have things that we do outside of this. She has
a lot of things. She has a lot of things.
I have some things.
She has a lot of things. It's really exciting. I can't wait for you guys to.
Well, I can say it. Okay. My new single is coming out this week. When this video comes out, it's the same week, and it's off of my upcoming EP. That the date hasn't been announced yet, but it will be announced very soon.
I need y'all to go listen when it comes out.
Please, I would appreciate.
Yeah.
And then well, yeah, there's an update about this show, but I'll tell you guys next video. We'll see you guys next time.